Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you on another Connection Wednesdays. Today we will present quite interesting topic because since October 2018, when we released the version 9.1 of Idea Statica, we have a new application that we called Code Check Manager, and this is what we will focus on today. So today we will show you one very nice example of how to import connection from Tekla Structures and merge it with a model from SAP 2000. Before we start, let me introduce our team. Today we are missing Adam, but we have a very good substitute, David Kuchera, who is also a product engineer at Idea Statica, will show you everything about the workflow in the Code Check Manager. And my name is Jana Kaderova, and together we will have a look at some help desk highlight topic at the end. One practical thing about GoToWebinar application: you are all muted by default, but you can ask your questions via questions panel in GoToWebinar window. So please feel free to ask anything. We will try to answer all questions during the webinar, and also we can send you email if we don't have time to answer. So what will you see today? It will be the joint importing from Tekla Structures merged with SAP 2000 model, as I mentioned before. And also during this example, David will present different tips and tricks how to work with the Code Check Manager. In the end, we will have a short look at general cross-section creation because we chose one example from our help desk, one problematic project or a project where the user did not know how to work with it. In the end, we will have maybe a few minutes to answer some questions of you. So this is our introduction, and now let me pass the presenter to David, who is prepared to show you how to work with Code Check Manager.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to introduce link or the power of the BIM links. We will merge Tekla project. Sorry for the bad screen. So once again, we will merge Tekla project. So it means model created completely in Tekla with global analysis model from SAP 2000. And you will see how we can do it very quickly, and then we can check connection in Idea Statica. So let's do it. We can switch, or I can show you both models in softwares. So here is SAP 2000 and another one, the same structure in Tekla 2018. And joints are completely done. It has the final design. There are plates, bolts, and welds. We start in SAP 2000. In each software, we have our plugin, and this plugin helps you to export each connection. In SAP 2000, it's hidden in Tools, and here is the plugin. We click on it, and you can see that so-called Code Check Manager appeared. First of all, we have to select desired connection, so it means members and point which represent the connection. Then in Code Check Manager, with this button, you have possibility to select code. So we have Euro code, American code, Canadian code, and Australian code. And we plan to add Russian snip next year. So now I want to work with Euro code. Let's click on this button. And you can see that here is some progress and something happened. IDEA Statica is able to read data from this third-party software. So just now we have a picture of the connection. We have information about cross sections. And just now, if I am satisfied, I can directly export it to IDEA Statica. But we can go through some steps, and I can show you what you can check with this Code Check Manager. So click on the button Next, and you can check which load cases were used, which combinations. We have two combinations, combination 1 and combination 2. You can check coefficients, and just now I can finish the connection. Oh, sorry, finish the export. So just now IDEA Statica is reading the data. Automatic data transfer was started. And we can notice that we have our connection design. So cross sections were imported, of course, load effects. We can check that we have two combinations. So this is our first model from SAP 2000. At this time, we can close IDEA Statica because once it was exported, it is saved. So we can close it. For this time, we can close Code Check Manager in SAP 2000, and we can switch to Tekla Structures. Tekla Structures is also third-party software, and here we have plugin called Connections. So let's use this button, and Code Check Manager appears for this software. You can see that it's the same. So we will select desired code. Just now we are working with Eurocode. In Tekla Structures, it's a little bit different. First, we select node, which represents the connection. Then we select the members. We have 3 members, so let's select them and confirm with spacebar. And please keep in mind that the first selected member will be set as bearing 1. So in our example, it will be column. And in the last step, we will select everything else. It means plates, bolts, stiffeners, and automatic data transfer was started. It's the same as in SAP 2000. IDEA Statica is reading the data, and it's here. We have our connection with operations. It was really very fast. And just now we can, or we have to load our structure. So we can add load effects from exported project from SAP 2000. And let's do it, or there is a possibility to do it with this button, Connection Import. So let's click on it. Now we will find the way to the connection which was exported from SAP 2000. So I know that it is in my folder for webinars, and it's here. So let's open it, and automatically our structure is loaded. You can see combination 1, combination 2, and it's done. We have final design of our connection. So let's calculate our model. Just now, Idea Statica was preparing the data for mesh, for solver, and it's calculating. And in a few seconds, we will receive the results. On the left side, we can see the summary of the results. And because we merged project from Tekla and SAP, we are done really very quickly. And if you want, you can go through the check. We can check equivalent stress. We can display mesh. We can display deformed structure. Or if you are satisfied, we can go directly to the report. So as you are used to, the report is generated. If you want, you can export it to PDF file or docs file for Microsoft Office, or you can switch to bill of material. Of course, you can print it, or you can export all of these pictures to the XF file and you can work with it. So our structure was modeled and checked. At this time, we can save a project and we can close Idea Statica. And you can notice what happened. In Code Check Manager, we have connection. This connection is highlighted in Tekla Structures. And we have the summary of the results. We have information about synchronization. The model was from Tekla and load effects were from SAP 2000, and here is the path where it's saved. Now I will close this Code Check Manager, and let's say you want to make some change in your connection. And because we want to change it in Tekla, let's change something. So in this connection, I will lengthen this plate. Now it's 30 millimeter. Let's do it 100 millimeter and modify. And we can add some bolts. So let's add another row of the bolts and modify. That's it. We can confirm. And again, let's go to the Code Check Manager. And now you can very easy synchronize the connection. Just only with this button synchronize. Let's do it. And we will see what happens. Again, Idea Statica is transferring the data. And in a few seconds, we will see a synchronized model. And you can notice that really the plate was lengthened. And we added one row of the bolts. And you don't have to import load effects again because it stayed. And directly we can calculate the structure and we will see if it's okay or not, or if we want modify or if we want to add something. After a calculation, we will see the summary of the results. You can see the changes were very small, so the results are quite similar. And we can save the project, close it in IDEA. Maybe you noticed it, and immediately the results were changed. I think the bolts were 21.0 and now there is 21.1, and of course the picture was updated. You can see that there is one more row of the bolts and the plate was exported. So this is the first connection, and of course you can work with many connections in this designer. So let's add a new one. I want this one. So again, the same workflow. From SAP 2000, I want export load effects. Again, let's launch Code Check Manager in SAP 2000. I will choose desired connection, and because I know I want Eurocode, it's the first option, I can directly click on it. You can see the progress, something is happening, and it's here. We have geometry, we have cross sections. Just now we will not go through all of the items, but we can design or export our connection directly, and we will receive geometry, cross sections, and of course load effects with our two combinations. You can notice that it's labeled with different name, joint number 6, and again it's saved in the memory or in the memory on your computer where your project is saved. So we can close IDEA Statica, we can close Code Check Manager from SAP, and we switch to Tekla Structures. Let's export the connection from Tekla. Again, the same workflow. Choose desired code, choose node which represents the connection, members, and other parts of the structure, plates, bolts, everything what's included in the connection. IDEA Statica is working in the background, and it's launching our project, and here it is. Just now, let's load it with load effects. You can remember it was joint 6. Let's apply these forces, and it's here. Let's calculate the structure, and we will see the result, if it's okay or if not. Of course, I tried this example, so I know that it will be not okay. It's not satisfactory. We can save it, and let's modify it somehow. Let's switch to Tekla. Now you can notice that we have two connections. Each connection is highlighted in our 3D model. Now we are working with connection number 1. This is this one. It's not okay, so I will modify it. I know that this is rigid connection. Let's do it the same. I have to delete the last operation. Yes, here it is. Or we can leave it as it was, so I can go back and we can leave these two connections. For these two beams, we can change only connection for column and this member. So this is hunch. Let's apply it for this connection. Okay. And now we can go back to code check manager. And we have connection number 2. In the last step, you can saw that I used synchronize, but now I will use the button modify. There is a smaller difference between these two buttons, but in generally, modify, or please use modify only if you add something to the structure. So you can saw that I completely changed the connection. I added many plates, bolts. So now I will use synchronize. The members are saved in the memory. I have to select only, or I can do the last step. So select bolts, welds, and plates. And I have to close IDEA, of course. So once again, let's modify this connection. And IDEA is working, and we will receive the new shape of the connection. And you can see it's here. It was modified. Now I can try to calculate the structure, and we will see if now it's satisfactory or not. But I guess this is a quite stiff connection, so it could help. And really, now it's okay. So let's save it. And finally, I can show you the changed result for connection number 2 in our code check manager. So you can notice that results changed, picture changed. Then we have button calculate and calculate all. I will only of course delete, so I think it's clear. But calculate and calculate all, it is the same as the function synchronize, but without opening the IDEA Statica. Everything is happening in the background. So if you have connection and you will choose calculate, in the same time, the connection will firstly synchronize, and then it will be calculated, and you will see the results. And the calculate all, it's the same, but for all of the connections which are included in Code Check Manager. So it's everything from our example for beam links, and I will pass the word back to Jana.
Thank you, David. I will take the presenter. Okay, so I hope it was a very interesting topic for you, because based on the number of questions you are writing to us, I hope this tool will give you more possibilities how to work with several softwares, how to link them in one model, and we hope that that will make the work of engineers much faster and easier, and we will still improve this code check manager. So, and in the end, we will have a short look at one help desk highlight problem, or how to call it, because our user wanted to have a beam of such two cross sections, or how to call it, of two different profiles that were supposed to be welded together. So he just entered two different members, and then he tried to weld them together. But if we have a look what happens in Idea Statica, it's not really what we expect the model to be, because those members are very long. Idea Statica makes the length of the member based on the last operation that you apply on the connection. But as you want to weld these two members together along their length, then the length is very, very long, and definitely that's not the correct model. So what we should use in such case, it's a composite or general cross-section. So I will just choose one of these members, and I will change the cross-section. And if you want to create your own cross-section, which is composed of different cross-sections from our library, you can, under this tab, Welded Composed, use the last option, General Steel Cross-Section, and a very new window opens. It's our cross-section, general cross-section editor, and here you can compose your own cross-section. So let's say we will choose RHS 250 and 100 cross-section, yeah, something like this. And we will add another one. So I can just copy this one and rotate it 90 degrees. And now we can use this master and insert point as references. So for this part number 2, we will choose the master component to be the number 1. And now you can use these numbers that marks different points of the cross sections. So the master point will be number 1 of the section 1, which is this point, and we will add there point number 9, I guess, yeah, in such a way. So you can see now we have a composed cross sections. Always there should be no clashes or overlapping parts or even gaps. And now if we select such cross-section, I will maybe change the project because I have shifted it a little bit. So these two members behaves as one unit, of course. They are loaded by the load effects together. There are no welds. We just suppose that they act together. So you cannot really check those welds, but the model is, I think, correct at the moment. So I hope I have results here. No, they are, sorry, they are deleted, but if we display the results, then we will see that the model behaves as one unit. Okay, so let's see how it looks like if I display the deformed shape. We have cross-section like this. So if you want to use the general cross-section, we have we have a FAQ on such topic. You can find it in our resource center. I hope that everybody knows our resource center. And in FAQ, we have a question how to create and use a custom cross-section. Here is a step-by-step workflow. So you can easily reach the information here. And I think we have also one tutorial. You can find it under, let's say, Eurocode or American code, and it's the general 3D connection. And in this example, we have also a general cross-section that is composed of different parts, so you can also follow these information. Okay, so I have maybe 3 questions. So one is probably on David. So David, the question is if it's necessary to keep the order of members, the order the same from SAP 2000 and Tekla, if we have to keep the order of selecting those members in both softwares?
Yes, that's a good question. It was a little bit tricky in the past for those of you who are working with Idea Statica for a longer time. So you know that it was necessary to change order in tables, in load effects, but now it was improved from version 9.1, it's not necessary, and we have special algorithm. So it doesn't matter if you select one or second beam firstly, Idea Statica will do it automatically. But what is important, you have to use the same geometry. You can saw that I had Tekla project and SAP project, and you have to keep this geometry. It means number of members, angles, and so on. Otherwise, it will not work.
Okay.
So I think it was enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Then, of course, you asked on different softwares than SAP 2000 and Tekla. For example, if we have a link with RFM and different other softwares. So I want to show you where to find all our BIM links. You can go on our web page, and under the tab BIM, you can see the list of all supported third-party softwares that we have a link. For each software, you will also find a tutorial. If you open the window of this specific software, we have sometimes a YouTube video, or definitely we have a tutorial again in our resource center. Connection, tutorials, and BIM links. Everything is here, step by step. So please feel free to go through the resource center. You will find everything there. And maybe we can also mention that we always support the last 2 latest versions of all the third-party softwares. And the last question, maybe I will connect it with this one, is if the link is sometimes like 2 ways. So maybe we should mention once more that if you can always change anything in Idea Statica, but at the moment we are not sending these changes back to, let's say, Tekla. So if you change the bold size in Idea Statica, we are not sending this information back to Tekla Structures. Okay, so the rest of our questions we already answered, or we will send you an email. And At the end, let me just ask you for filling a very short survey after the webinar. Give us some feedback. How did you like the software? How did you like the webinar or the Code Check Manager? We are always happy to read your feedback. You will also get the recording of this webinar. It will be on our web page and also on our YouTube channel. You can also find all the past webinars there if you are interested in other different topics. And if you still don't have the Idea Statica software, you can always apply for a trial version, which is for free on our web page. And the next Connection Wednesdays, and this will be the last part in 2018, will be on December the 12th. We can already invite you to join this webinar. The application form will be on our webpage under webinars, and you can look forward to seeing example from the team from London. So the London team will end up this autumn series of Connection Wednesdays. And I think that's all that I want to mention. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you that you joined our webinars, and we are looking forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.